I put the hoodie off. I'll put it on for the next one. And then
I got to take the hoodie off for Chainsaw Bob. That way it looks like I don't wear the same clothes for 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I was like, switching it over.
Primarily Critical. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Primarily Critical of Movies at an After Party. This would be it.
If you've not seen this film, we suggest that you do so before you listen any further.
We got spoilers, trivia, and opinions like crazy, and we can't wait to share them.
Good, bad, new, old, weird, and gross.
We pass judgment on them all.
Today, I said we take off and nuke the entire site from orbit.
It's the only way to be sure.
It's the only way to be. My name is Steve. I'm here with
Christian.
And
Greg.
We're covering Aliens.
Plural.
Plural. Yes. Not to be confused with any of the others, the many others from the Alien franchise.
Alien.
This is my pick. This is my pick.
It is your pick.
I picked it.
Yes, you did.
And
wait, who picked it?
It was me. Okay. It was me. So I'm most familiar with this movie out of all the Alien movies. I'm most familiar with this one, and I did a little research, as per I'm supposed to, and I found out that this was Ridley Scott's baby, and this was like the black sheep that wandered away from the pack. Apparently, James Cameron went up to Fox and said, "Hey, check out this sequel I wrote for your Alien movie," and Fox was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And nobody actually talked to Ridley Scott.
Oh.
Was it Ridley Scott? No. Or am I mixing it up with Ripley? No, it's Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott.
Yeah, it's Ridley Scott. Anyway, I might be starting off with trivia, and that might have been a bad move on my part. But
what are you doing?
I was just very interesting. I didn't realize, and I'm most passionate about this one, but it wasn't. It wasn't your baby, James. Wasn't your baby.
Yes. Okay.
The Alien movie is a horror movie, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that the Aliens movie is a horror movie?
Oh.
Not 100%.
No, it's more kind of like
Action,
pew-pew,
action-y,
like
yeah.
action-y war. You're right. It is a twist when you look at them like that, and then depending on, like you said, the whole other franchise is all dark and spooky and whatever. Whereas this one's kind of, it's still dark and spooky, but it's got a lot more of a pew pew pew.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Action.
Action packed. Yeah.
They have some great gear.
They do. They got a lot of fun toys.
Yeah.
I noticed something. I noticed that when they first arrive on the colony and they're wandering through the streets, the one building that's clearly marked with a neon sign is the bar.
Yes.
The Frontier Bar.
And everything else has a code on it.
Stop for a pint.
Yeah.
So you know where these colonists' priorities are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They work all day in the atmosphere mine, and then they go belly up to the bar.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you have any problems with the movie? Either of you?
No, it holds up fantastically. It's still great. How old is it? 86?
Mm-hmm.
30 plus years old. 40? 30? 34?
Yeah. I guess at the time, if you watched it right at the time, it wouldn't have been anything. But jumping back, seeing it now, and you're like, you have other people pegged for other things that they've done, and then trying to be like, okay, no, this isn't, Paul Reiser from Mad About You, or like he's the nice guy and all the other stuff. Yeah, and then in this one, he's just like brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But or Paxton, he's pretty much the same character in a lot of stuff. Whatever.
That's true. He plays an amazing asshole.
He does a good job. But so those kinds of things are interesting. But
yeah, I did like that I mean, everybody's got their special. You know, Vasquez likes to be tough, and Huck, what is it? Hudson's like a whiny loser.
Yeah.
Yellow. Right? Like everybody's got a
he's
one-dimensional.
Yellow, yeah.
One-dimensional, but they're bigger than that. They're all bigger than that.
Yeah.
Because you do see like, right off the bat, they get out of their cryo sleep and they start doing pull-ups. You know, you can see that those two do that all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
What I wonder is because I don't have any kind of military background. You know, like, and I look at it from a civilian point of view, and yeah, I think that's how sort of the military is. But is it like that? Like, if you come from that background, are they like, oh, well, these are all the tropes or whatever, you know? And it's like, it's so not like that. Or is it exactly like that, right? You know, like,
Well, you've worked with every one of those tropes,
oh,
right?
yeah,
right?
like, for sure, right? You know, or I guess if you apply it to, like, this is my work life. Yeah, there's that guy. I can relate to all those guys at work.
But the military is you don't usually get to choose your teammates. So the military is a framework where a bunch of people who don't really like each other can actually get things done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess
Yeah, whatever. I like it, the whole, and I think it melds well, the movie, with the space. And
I love how seamlessly Ripley pushes in and is like basically second in command after about half an hour.
That's the thing that I have an issue with. Like, would she be able to be like, I mean, okay, you look at Gorman and he's like, okay, yeah, that's the lieutenant that everyone wants off, right?
Yeah,
you know, because he
right.
doesn't know, I have 2 real drops, you know, 37 simulated or whatever it is, right?
Right.
But
he
by
falls
the same
apart
token,
when it's really high pressure.
you know, or whatever. And I guess at the end of the day, she's a consultant, right? And she's like, bitches, I've done this before.
Yeah.
Right?
Actually, she in the first movie, if I remember correctly,
sequel.
She was the leader of a salvage team, I think, or was like maybe it was a mining team, or she was the boss of.
Yeah, she had a little ship of what, 7, 10?
I have not watched the first movie as much as I've watched this.
Yeah,
that's true.
I like this one best.
Yeah. There's a scene in Aliens where the dude Ripley says, how long will it take for them to realize we're not responding, and how long will they wait before they send people to arrive, and how long will it take for them to get here? He said 17 days. Now, do you need cryogenic sleep for 17 days?
Well, my other thing is, like, they sent all of them down to the surface. Like, don't you leave people on your other ship? What happens if space pirates?
Yeah,
you know?
if exactly what happened. Your one ship blew up. What was your plan?
Yeah, like,
this is so true. They should have left people
like there's no skeleton crew on the ship.
I would guess that they're.
Well, that's why I asked, because I have no military background. Is that what we do? We park the battleship on the side, put the anchor down, everyone runs off.
No,
there's no other boats in the sea. I mean, because they really push for the whole space is empty kind of thing. You know, she was floating around for 57 years.
And she very nearly drifted right on through and never got found.
Yeah.
At least that might have been a dream that may not have been 100% of the. What's I going to say? Shoot.
Oh.
The other thing I have is with Ripley.
Yes.
She's either the best stepmother out there, because the way that she chases down Newt, who is in no way related to her, right. Unless I missed it. Was there some kind of connection? Like, she's just the kid.
She's a colonist's kid.
So she's like, and I was like, Jesus, like, I mean, I hope that my wife would do the same thing, right? Like, for your own child, and she's not even, like, blood related, you know?
Those are some vicious circumstances.
Yeah. I guess. You know?
Well, yeah, and Ripley is pre-primed. She knows what this colony suffered because she had first-hand experience with those aliens. The 17-day thing, I mean, they left from Earth. Mm-hmm. The rescue party would probably not come from Earth.
Yes.
Right? It would come from some other outpost closer. But they would be like, okay, we haven't heard from that away mission in a while. Let's go have a look. So that's the 17-day plan.
Mm-hmm.
But they had to leave from Earth because they had to bring Ripley with them.
Yes.
And Burke, who
That's
were both there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
So much sense. Okay, when we meet Ripley, and she's floating through space for 57 years, and the salvage team finds it. And they go through the ship, and they're all excited, and they go, "Crap, there's somebody here. There goes our salvage." It was like their first words. Did you notice that?
Well, they were lucky that they didn't have someone on their crew like Burke. It's like, well,
This just gets
there's
turned
no
off.
one here.
Yeah, because Burke's just, oh wow, Burke was a savage.
But he strikes me like he also falls into his thing is like, yes, that is how I perceive every bureaucrat ever, right? Like it's about the cash and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I made a horrible mistake. Yes, it cost the lives of 157. Too bad. You know?
Well, the ship's log would say, look, the one person went to cryosleep. The machine worked perfectly until this point. Coincidentally, there was a door breach.
The salvage
There's
crew.
evidence. Yeah, there's evidence. So, and it probably follows like the laws of the Earth Sea, where if there's somebody on the ship, it's not yours.
Yeah.
If it's totally abandoned, it's yours.
Yeah, salvage rights.
Yeah. So she was still on the ship. She was technically still alive, even though she was in no condition to operate the ship.
Yeah.
She still owned it.
Mine.
Yeah, not theirs.
Yeah.
Crazy town.
Mm-hmm.
Does that Newt character show up in any of the sequels? I haven't seen all of them.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Because, I mean, I don't know if we're doing the next one, but it's kind of like a...
In Aliens 3,
climactic.
the ship crash lands on a prison planet.
Right, okay.
And there's a face hugger on board.
Everyone dies except Ripley.
I think so.
Yeah. The lieutenant and Newt that they went back for and did this whole big thing for was kind of like, oops. Bishop's around. He gets hooked up by like all the prison guys into a crazy like I am the Bishop computer or something. I mean, we're ahead, right? Not in this one. But
We're spoiling another movie.
Spoilers!
We never mentioned.
Oh wait, did we say spoilers? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay, I get it.
But
okay.
The synth Bishop. He's got white blood.
Yeah.
And so this is a far departure from the Blade Runner franchise.
It's made by a different corporation.
Made by a different corporation.
The Wayland Corporation instead of the Tyrrell Corporation.
But aren't they in the same
They are in the same universe.
Yes, they are.
We mentioned that in the Blade Runner
I think
podcast.
so, yeah.
Well, they're competitors, right?
Yep.
You don't have one product. You have two competitors. It's not just McDonald's. There's Burger King, too.
That's
Damn,
right.
I should have had a Coke.
That's what makes them
there
sure.
should be a
There should be a
Pepsi,
Coke here.
And a Dr. Skipper.
I thought Snapple was the big three.
Well, Snapple's owned by Coke, isn't it?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's like Visa owns
Somebody
MasterCard
Google
and
that.
MasterCard owns
Leave it in
Visa.
the comments below.
Yes, please. Google it. Leave it in the comments below. One thing we didn't mention was that Ripley. One of the things I loved about this movie. Now I've already mentioned it to these two, so I wanted to make sure that I mentioned it on the podcast. Something goes wrong. They set off on their mission, and 1 hour into the movie, something goes wrong. They get their asses handed to them. The aliens ambush them, and Ripley says, "Let's leave this place and nuke it from orbit just to be sure."
Mm-hmm.
And the bad guy says, "No, we can't do that." And
It's very
everybody's
expensive.
it's very expensive.
Yep.
And everybody says, "You're an idiot. Let's do it." Right? And most movies, that would be like a point of contention, right?
Mm-hmm.
It would be everyone would be arguing, "Oh, we got to save this. What about this?" Blah 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 blah. But no, it makes perfect sense. They're in trouble. They're in the shit, as they say. And let's leave the planet and nuke it from orbit.
If I was one of those Marines, I'd be like, yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Blowing stuff up and getting away with it is probably the highest point of your Marine career.
Yeah.
Nuke it.
Nuke it from orbit. The commanding officer, which was Hicks at the time, says, nuke it from orbit.
Well, that was the quote, right?
Yeah.
It was like, a corporal can't make that call. He's
just a
ranking
grunt.
officer. He's
Yeah.
just a grunt. No, he's the ranking
No
officer.
Don't take it.
Only way to be sure. Yeah. Going back to that Ripley thing, you also have the same thing with the with the alien mother or the big alien. It's
Queen?
like the queen. Okay, so Ripley blows up all the eggs, right? When she's saving Newt. But the queen loses her mind or like calls them off. But at the end of the day, those eggs are only good to infect humans. And there are like 1, 2. There are like 40 eggs or more in that room. It's like, oh, okay, we gotta.
I have a
The
point.
We got a
right
mansion
next.
from the
Yeah.
peanut gallery.
in Aliens 3, the face hugger impregnates a dog.
What?
And in the comic books, the face huggers impregnate anything that's alive.
Jesus.
Wow, that's not specialized.
Well, yeah, it's more like any mammal or,
Yeah.
or anything that can accept a face hugger.
Yeah, anything that's got a warm place to put an egg.
Yeah.
Careful, boys.
And actually, in Aliens 3, the alien looks a little bit like a dog. And in the comic books, whatever they impregnate, they come out
Doggy.
Wasn't there at some point in the history, there's like these aliens were engineered by humans somehow?
No,
So
they're
experiment gone wildly
okay.
wrong.
If we go back to the prequels, and then we're in a whole other
Yeah.
alien. Is what is it? Prometheus? Is it?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's two things that come together and end up melded as one makes the aliens,
Okay.
right? Isn't it something like that? I don't know.
I don't-
And then the predators are in this universe too. Like there's a whole other aliens versus predator stuff. Like I don't know. You got to watch all this. I mean, what are we doing picking all these movies that
I'm
have
sorry, I know.
17 other movies you need to
Yeah, we
watch?
picked
to
the middle
get
one, yeah.
This movie.
Okay, I swear to God, we're going to come back to this movie, but I have to say something about the comics. The aliens have their own kind of planets, right? And the predators really like to hunt aliens.
Well, they hunt everything, don't
Yes,
they?
they hunt
Yeah,
everything,
okay.
but they really like to hunt aliens because it's a huge challenge.
Challenging, yeah.
So what they do is they grab eggs.
Come on.
And
Arnold
They
Schwarzenegger
seed
over
other
seed
planets so
other
that
planets.
they have amusement parks.
But Arnold Schwarzenegger over aliens any day.
Well, yeah.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the job.
Do it now.
Say it, Artie.
Yeah.
You're my man. Okay, anyway, back to this movie.
Yeah.
We found out that the extended version is the only one that has
Yes.
the mounted guns with the counters on, with a
Auto
ticker.
guns or whatever. Yes.
All the handguns have tickers, but
the autoguns have the 600 rounds or something like that, and they use them up before the aliens know that they're empty. Yeah.
and there's a heart pounding moment
Mhm.
when those tickers run to zero, because one of the guns runs out and you're like, oh my God, and then it doesn't run out. The aliens give up, and I love that moment. It took it away from me for my unextended cut.
It's true.
Why would
'cause
you
you're-
cut that bit out?
No, but you're thinking about it. Well, okay, we talked about this, and this is the thing. Back in the day, these movies, there was no epic Lord of the Rings type 3-hour movie. If your movie ran longer than X, it was like, no, you're gonna
have to cut it
bore
down.
everybody. So they cut everything down so that it would fit into,
This one was pretty long.
but it was long for its time, but
Yeah.
it was still longer if you didn't cut all this stuff. Because there is a bunch that's sort of
I love the autoguns because they directly relate to the portal turrets. Right?
Yeah, and they also show
As
kind
a
of
portal
like,
man,
Yep.
it's important.
but it also does show the intelligence of the aliens, right? Because they stop, they won't attack there, even though the guns are empty. They don't know that.
They don't know
and
that, yeah.
and they call that up in the process that the auto guns, even though they're empty, have served their function because you
They
see when they
denied that
attack
area.
when
Yeah.
they attack again, they don't just send wave after wave, of their own men. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, they go through the ceiling.
No spoilers. Of course, we told you about that. Watch the movie first, right?
Yeah. Why does her freight elevator go back up to the top when there's no one else on that base?
I
I mean, dramatic tension, but when you get out of an elevator, unless it's got something else to do, it stays there.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. Oh,
And then, I mean, Ripley had a pocket full of grenades, and she shot up the egg sacs of the alien.
Egg
Why didn't
sacs.
she save one for the queen's face?
Yeah, that's true. She did get all the egg sacs, but it's like, you got this big queenie. Like, take care of
She
that.
didn't really know
She'll
it would
just lay
detach
more.
itself,
this is true.
but she could have blown up the front end of the queen instead of just the back end of the queen. Because that whole planet, she knows that whole planet's going to get nuked.
Mm-hmm.
Whether she does it or not, because that atmosphere converter is going to blow up.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's a failure of Ripley's judgment there.
Totally.
Yeah.
God. Ripley,
How dare you?
what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
God.
Do you guys pay attention to the SpaceX? This is probably trivia. SpaceX rocketry company.
Kind of, sort of.
Like Musk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So they are working on a rocket that can carry humans. Right now, it's only carrying supplies.
Okay.
So they're testing out their crew capsule, Crew Dragon, and they needed a human simulation. So they put a spacesuit in there. I don't know what they actually had in their instrumentation or something.
Right.
They called it the human analog blah 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 something simulation device.
Okay.
They named it Ripley.
Ah.
And they fired it up into orbit and then brought it back down. Or actually, I think it docked with the ISS.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. And I'm like, don't blow Ripley up.
We like Ripley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
And you should have put a cat. You should have put a stuffed cat in there too.
I see. They didn't go.
Oh,
they didn't
most
go all the
definitely.
way.
Yeah. Or a little doll's head.
Yeah, a little plastic doll's head and a cat and a
Mm,
No, you said why did the elevator go back up?
yeah. I mean, it may have programming, time of day programming for the busiest mine days, and it goes, oh, I better go get the.
Is there any chance that she took stairs or the elevator down?
No. Well, she took the elevator down.
She took the elevator down and then she took stairs further down.
Then she found Newt, and then she was running back, following her breadcrumbs of flares. She gets to the elevator, calls it. They're both at the top of the mine.
Well, I didn't pay attention, but did that happen with the Marines? Because the Marines went to this place too, first, and then when they came back, was the elevator there, or did they have to call it down, or was it
I
completely?
don't remember that
because it was all driving and you. Didn't
Yeah,
see
she was
it.
all driving.
Yeah.
We were paying attention to Ripley smashing through the
Yeah.
complex in her
Yeah.
her tank.
Grinding metal. Right.
Right.
Okay.
Should we get into this trivia?
I guess
Sure.
so.
Like most films, the movie wasn't shot in sequence, but for added realism, James Cameron filmed the scene where we first meet the Colonial Marines, one of the earliest scenes, last. This is so that the camaraderie of the Marines is realistic, because the actors had actually spent months filming together. And that plays into you saying that they woke up and were really like...
Yeah, just got right back into their routine. Yeah.
full of
Yeah.
some-
Then you could see that they had worked together or exercised together or fought together, and they had a history.
Yeah.
Right. Even though nobody said anything. Hey, remember that time we had this? Oh, well, they did say that with the
We talked
Prometheus
about that.
Poontang or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Man, it's nice. It's a really nice touch. When I'm a filmmaker, I'm going to do that.
Yeah, you hope.
Okay.
You wish you hope
All
that
right.
you're able to do that.
Yeah.
The knife trick scene was originally going to be done by Bishop alone. According to Lance Heinrichsen, he suggested to James Cameron to have Hudson's hand put on top of his, to which Cameron agreed. The change was discussed with almost everyone except Bill Paxton. The scene went off fine except for one take where Paxton's pinky stuck out a bit and Heinrichsen grazed it. Is this something that
This is a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, is
All
this
right,
something
Bill.
that-
What do we do? What?
he volunteered? Hey, I know how to do this kind of cool bar trick. Or was that part of the audition? Like, we need somebody who's quick with a knife, or was that just accidental?
Oh,
Did they speed it up? Did they?
They did. They probably did. They sped up
They
the
must
film
have.
so that it looked like an android was doing it.
But still.
No, yeah, I mean, James Cameron, from the stuff I read about The Abyss, he's very hard on his actor. and this just...
Yeah, didn't somebody already drown or almost drown?
Almost.
drowned
Almost drowned.
multiple times or something like that. Anyway, this is so Cameron.
But I mean, just watching that scene, you're also like, oh my god.
It's true.
Or at least I was. So.
Yeah, I was too. He was in the movie. The android nicked himself,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I guess
that's right.
in
That's
real
how-
life he
That's
nicked.
how Ripley.
He
Yeah.
nicked a human.
Oh, do over. You nicked the wrong guy. Yeah. Okay, in both the standard and special edition versions, the 15-minute countdown at the end of the film is indeed 15 minutes.
I didn't notice that.
I like that.
That's kind of cool, but
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
is.
notice that either.
That was
It felt like a long time, but Hollywood always messes with it always takes 4 seconds to defuse a bomb when you got 10 seconds left. But on screen, it takes 3 minutes.
It's nice that they stuck to it.
Yeah.
They made a decision and they stuck to it. Lance Hendrickson had privately pledged to quit acting if this part didn't work out for him. After his years of journeyman roles, it proved to be one of his most successful films. You know, I'm guessing that a lot of actors say this a lot. So I'm not sure how much weight I could put on this. But I mean, well, you know, Lance is successful now, so I don't suppose he would need to lie. He's still around, right? I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, get back to us.
Yeah. Google it. IMDb that bad stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
How dare you put trivia and not know the answers?
I can only go so far with this stuff. You know, it's
just carrying the team. Good for you.
Okay, moving on.
There.
I guess is that aliens, gentlemen?
Yeah, it was good.
What are you googling there?
He was born in 1940. He's not dead yet.
Not dead yet.
We were seeing what he had done.
What has he been up to? Yeah.
Oh, his other roles?
Yeah. Not if he's dead.
Oh, Hard Target, Terminator, Near Dark, Tangled, the animated something.
Terminator.
Yeah, he's one of the sergeants in the police station that Arnie shoots up.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. Yes, that is right.
And of course, what is his name? Hicks. Hicks plays a big role in Terminator.
Yeah, I think so. I think I've seen him in that one. That's right.
Absolutely.
I guess now
Do they have a similar director or something?
I don't know. God.
Maybe that's good. He remembers his friends.
Yeah.
It is good.
He takes direction well, therefore.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Hey, you.
Hey.
I didn't cut you or almost drown you.
Yeah.
You didn't complain. You liked your role.
Yeah.
How about we do another one? All right.
Excuse me.
Pays the same.
Yeah, so that's Aliens. Check out Monday. Check out our next podcast Monday at noon, where we're covering Jay and Silent Bob Reboot.
Snoogans.
Snoochie Boochies. Yeah, that was Christian's pick. Without any spoilers, why did you pick it?
Because I'm a fan of Clerks and Mallrats. I'll say I'm a fan of Mallrats. And Chasing Amy was great. And this is a very long time since those, and they brought all his friends back together and made basically a fan service movie. We actually went and saw the live touring roadshow.
Absolutely, I was there, and it was really nice. It was heartwarming. Yeah. We covered Chasing Amy very recently. You should go back and check it out.
You'll need to. We
gush over it a bit. Yeah. So I can't wait to talk about it. Check out primarylycritical.com. We got a YouTube channel. What else we got? What do we got going on? Discord. Discord, if you want to reach out to us directly, you just feel free to pop in on the Discord. And you know, every once in a while I talk about stuff there. Facebook, Twitter, Twatter,
whatever.
There's a lot of socials. So many socials.
Can't keep track.
We might even have a store opening soon, if it's not open already, because this podcast will take a while to release.
What do you mean?
We're way in the future.
Now.
Oh yeah, it's open now, but I got to make sure that it's plugged in everywhere. Yeah. And it's on the site and stuff.
How far into the future are we? Holy shit, April.
Yeah. God damn it, April. Anyway, see you then. Bye-bye.
Do you have to clap anymore?
Not anymore.
Okay, good.
I mean, it doesn't hurt.